Canada shuts down student direct stream. Major blow to international students seeking faster study permits. Welcome back to Canada Chronicles. Today, we're diving into a groundbreaking change that's shaking up the international student community, Canada's decision to shut down the Student Direct Stream, or SDS. This program has been a lifeline for thousands of students, offering faster visa processing and reliable approval rates. But with its sudden closure, many are left wondering what's next. Why did Canada make this decision? How will it impact students, educational institutions, and Canada's reputation as a top destination for international education? And most importantly, what alternatives exist for students who still dream of studying in Canada? Stay tuned because, by the end of this video, we'll explore the ripple effects of SDS closure, how Canada's decision will transform the international student experience. You'll discover why this change is happening, what challenges lie ahead, and how students and schools can adapt to this new reality. If you're considering studying in Canada or want to understand how this impacts the immigration landscape, this video is for you. Don't miss a moment, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's get started. The importance of the Student Direct Stream. Canada has long been a global leader in attracting international students, offering world-class education, multicultural inclusivity, and pathways to permanent residency. Among its key immigration programs, the Student Direct Stream stood out as a critical tool to streamline the process for academically prepared and financially stable students. Introduced in 2018, it allowed applicants from 14 countries, including India, the Philippines, and China, to apply for study permits faster than through standard channels. The SDS guaranteed efficiency, processing study permits in as little as 20 days for eligible applicants. It was particularly beneficial for countries with high student demand, making it easier for individuals to plan their academic journeys. However, as of November 8, 2024, this program has been discontinued. The decision reflects Canada's broader strategy to address growing challenges in housing, public services, and fraud within the immigration system. Why did Canada shut down the SDS? The closure of the SDS aligns with Canada's efforts to manage systemic pressures caused by the rising number of temporary residents. Although international students contribute over $22 billion annually to the Canadian economy, their growing numbers have exposed infrastructure and resource limitations. Record-breaking immigration numbers. In 2023, Canada welcomed more than 800,000 international students, an all-time high. While this surge boosted economic growth, it overwhelmed housing markets, transit systems, and public services, particularly in urban centers like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal. This rapid increase has outpaced Canada's capacity to accommodate such growth effectively. Housing affordability crisis. The influx of international students has significantly impacted housing demand, contributing to rising rental prices in major cities. In Toronto, rents have soared by over 25% in the past year, leaving many students struggling to find affordable accommodations. Critics argue that while international students are not solely to blame, the immigration strategy has failed to account for the infrastructure needed to support population growth. Public service strain. Canada's healthcare systems, public transit networks, and social programs have struggled under the pressure of rapidly growing populations. Communities hosting large numbers of students have reported longer wait times at clinics, overcrowded transit systems, and strained social resources. These challenges have sparked debates over the sustainability of the current immigration model. Fraud and systemic abuse. While the SDS simplified the study permit process, it also faced issues with fraudulent documentation. In a 2023 investigation, over 2,000 fraudulent applications involving falsified admission letters were discovered. This highlighted significant vulnerabilities, prompting the government to re-evaluate the program's role in the broader immigration framework. Policy alignment with immigration caps. The decision to end the SDS also aligns with Canada's reduced permanent residency targets over the next 3 years. 2025, 395,000 new permanent residents. 2026, 380,000. 2027, 365,000. The government's recalibration of immigration policies reflects a recognition of the need for sustainable infrastructure growth. As immigration surged in recent years, some communities struggled to manage the integration of new arrivals. Through tighter controls like those seen in the SDS closure, the government aims to balance economic benefits with long-term community planning, ensuring both current residents and newcomers can thrive. Immediate impacts on international students. The termination of the SDS will have widespread implications, especially for students who relied on its expedited processing and clear requirements to plan their education in Canada. 1. Longer processing times. Without the SDS, all study permit applications will now go through the standard process, where processing times vary widely. For high-demand countries like India, timelines are expected to average 8 to 16 weeks, potentially delaying academic schedules and creating logistical challenges. 2. Financial uncertainty. The SDS required students to purchase a guaranteed investment certificate worth $20,635 to demonstrate financial stability. While this was a significant upfront cost, it offered students a predictable way to manage living expenses. Under the standard process, financial requirements are less structured, which adds uncertainty for students and their families. 3. Lower approval rates. The SDS ensured higher approval rates by setting strict benchmarks for financial readiness and language proficiency. With the standard process, applications are subject to greater discretion, potentially resulting in inconsistent evaluations and lower approval rates for some applicants. 4. Institutional challenges. Educational institutions in Canada, especially designated learning institutions, rely heavily on tuition fees from international students. With fewer students likely to apply due to increased processing times and uncertainty, colleges and universities may face financial pressures. Smaller institutions that predominantly cater to international students could be the hardest hit. Furthermore, Canadian institutions may face reputational challenges on the global stage. The SDS closure, combined with recent policy changes like stricter eligibility for work permits, could make Canada seem less accessible to international students. This perception may encourage students to prioritize other countries with more streamlined or stable immigration policies, potentially reducing Canada's share in the global education market. The ripple effects of SDS closure. How Canada's decision will transform the international student experience. Thanks for staying with us this far. We appreciate your time and hope you're finding this information valuable. Now, let's dive deeper into how the SDS program's closure will reshape Canada's international education landscape and what students and institutions can do to adapt. What's next for international students? The end of the SDS creates challenges, but students can navigate the new system by adopting a proactive approach. Start early. Students should plan to submit their applications 4 to 6 months in advance to account for delays. Starting early reduces the risk of missing enrollment deadlines due to processing times. Strengthen financial documentation. Applicants must ensure that their financial statements, income proof, and sponsorship letters are comprehensive and verifiable. Demonstrating financial readiness will be critical for gaining study permit approval. Explore alternative pathways. Students aiming for long-term settlement in Canada should consider other immigration options. Provincial nominee programs, which offer opportunities tailored to international graduates. Express entry, which benefits skilled workers with Canadian education and work experience. Post-graduation work permits, which allow graduates to gain valuable work experience, though eligibility requirements have become stricter. Consider other study destinations. While Canada remains a top choice, students may also explore options like Australia, the United Kingdom, and Germany, which offer competitive visa policies and pathways for international graduates. An additional consideration for students is collaborating with immigration consultants or educational advisors who specialize in Canadian policies. With the immigration landscape changing rapidly, these professionals can provide up-to-date guidance on eligibility, required documentation, and alternative pathways. They can also help applicants avoid common pitfalls that lead to delays or rejections, ensuring their applications align with the latest regulations. What can educational institutions do? The closure of the SDS presents both challenges and opportunities for colleges and universities in Canada. Diversify recruitment. Expanding recruitment efforts beyond SDS-eligible countries can help institutions mitigate enrollment declines. By targeting emerging markets, schools can maintain a steady flow of international students. Invest in student support. Providing robust support services, including housing assistance, career counseling, and mental health resources, will make institutions more appealing to prospective students. Advocate for balanced policies. Educational institutions can collaborate with policymakers to advocate for immigration policies that address systemic challenges while maintaining Canada's reputation as a leader in international education. Broader implications. The closure of the SDS marks a pivotal moment in Canada's approach to international education. While the decision addresses pressing issues like housing shortages and public service strain, it also creates uncertainty for students and institutions. Success in this new landscape will require careful planning, adaptability, and collaboration among students, schools, and policymakers. Thank you for joining us today on Canada Chronicles. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like the video and share it with anyone who might be impacted by these changes. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to stay informed about immigration, education, and life in Canada. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. How do you feel about the SDS program's closure? Let us know, and we'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay informed, stay prepared, and stay tuned to Canada Chronicles.